I know Connecticut so well. I have my friends in Connecticut. I've lived here. I see what's happening to Connecticut. It's so devastating to lose a company like General Electric. I've always had a big spot for Connecticut, and I guess based on the polls, they seem to like me also. I'm going to bring jobs back to Connecticut and to the country. We're not going to let them go to Mexico. They're going right now. They're going everywhere but here because we have people that don't know how to deal. They don't know how to make deals. The trade deals this country is making, they're devastating our country. And even driving, I know Hartford very well. I know Connecticut very well. But driving up, I'm seeing all of the empty buildings and the empty space, and it's devastating. It's sad to me because I've loved Connecticut for so long.
So you drove up here from the city?
I took a plane.
Yeah. So the empty buildings were in Hartford?
I landed at the airport and we drove up.
Yeah. Any message for our governor here, the Democratic governor of the state?
Well, the message is you got to get going on trade. I mean, we've got to make better trade deals. Now, that's largely a federal thing, but you got to keep your companies. I think losing General Electric is a disaster for Connecticut. We're not talking about a 15-person shop. We're talking about a devastation. One of the large companies of the world and a great company, and losing them to Massachusetts was tough. But at least we can say, at least they're in the United States. Most of the time it's they leave for Mexico and other countries, which is even worse. But for Connecticut to have lost General Electric is so devastating. But if I'm elected, we're going to bring so many companies back into this country and back into Hartford and various places in Connecticut. We're going to make people very proud again.
Why do you think very few members of the Connecticut Republican establishment are here? You mentioned you have friends in Connecticut, but...
Oh, I don't know. I mean, all I know is we have thousands of people. You see the place is packed. In fact, I got here a little bit early, and it's almost full already. They have thousands of people outside trying to get in. That I don't know. I mean, we didn't invite anybody. We just opened it up, and we are, full to capacity. In fact, the convention center said it's a record.
Do you have any message to moderate Republicans who might have some issues with some of your stances?
Well, I don't think they do have issues because I'm leading right now with every single group. New York is the same thing. A poll just came out. I'm at 60 to 18 and 17. 60. So, in fact, I'd like to have the election immediately. Here too. I hear the polls are great here.
Yeah.
No, I'm leading with every category. I'm leading with women. I'm leading with veterans. You saw one of the top veterans in the country right there now. But I'm leading with just about every group, income groups, education groups. So I'm just very honored. And I just saw your poll actually from Connecticut. What were the final results? It's really good.
They were very good for you.
Really.
Yes. Yeah. Do you have any message to Democrats? I mean, some of your views. You have a lot of Democratic supporters in this state. I'm just wondering if
you have a crossover. Is this a crossover state?
No, it is.
I've done great with the crossover.
Unaffiliates, yes, but not Democrats.
Yeah, because I've done great with Democrats crossing over. We're taking 20% of them, a really big number when they have a crossover state. Look, the main thing for Connecticut is you can't lose your businesses. You can't allow a General Electric to leave. You just can't let it happen. You have to work out deals. And it's shocking, and I'm sure they wanted to stay, and it's shocking to lose General Electric. It's so sad for Connecticut. At the same time, on a federal level, if I'm president, I will have companies pouring into Connecticut because we're going to change the rules, the regulations, the taxes. I'm giving a massive tax decrease to the middle class and also to business. Right now, we're the highest tax nation in the world, and I'm going to be doing a lot of things. We're going to be in the lower category as opposed to the highest. We're literally the highest taxed anywhere in the world. So I think Connecticut, I think they're going to be very happy if I get elected. We'll do a great job for Connecticut.
And just one more question on immigration. I mean, is that something that you're still continuing to hear a lot of anger and frustration about?
Tremendous anger.
Yeah.
Tremendous. And honestly, we know about the crime, and when I brought it up, I don't think immigration would even be a factor. Now it's one of the biggest factors in the election. One of the reasons I'm doing so well. But one of the things that's really also happening, aside from the crime and the obvious problems and the drugs pouring across the border, one of the big problems is the fact that people are losing their jobs to people that are coming home. I mean, as an example, in Connecticut, you're losing a lot of jobs, and people, they're here illegally, and you're losing a lot of your jobs. So Every time I talk about immigration, I end up getting standing ovations. I want people to come into the country, but they have to come in legally.
But one of the big drug issues here in this state is opiates and heroin abuse, and that's not something that...
Well, it is, and you know, it reminds me of New Hampshire. I won New Hampshire, I won the state. And every single time I'd go to a meeting, I'd say, what's your biggest problem? They'd say, opiates. They really said heroin. They usually start off with heroin. And I said, I'll tell you what, if I win, I'm going to stop that problem. They're poisoning their youth, and others, by the way, but they're poisoning their youth. They don't have a chance because and heroin's one of the hardest drugs to get off of. It's very, very tough. Once they're hooked, it's very tough. And you're having that same problem here. When I looked at New Hampshire, I said, it's hard to believe that would be there. No, there was always their number one concern. You look at the trees and the roads and the valleys, and they say heroin. You have the same problem in many, and it comes over the border, and we're going to stop it, and we're going to stop it fast. And I'm doing the wall, and the wall's going to happen, and Mexico's paying for the wall, and all of that. Believe me, they are. Some people, the politicians, they smile when I say that because they think you can't do it. 100% they're paying for the wall. Because they could actually stop a lot of this if they wanted to. They just don't want to. So we get the drugs and they get the cash. And people understand I'm not playing games.
Have you seen your friend Mrs. McMahon here?
No, but she's a great person and he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Really, really special people. They're great friends of